Kia ora iti whānau, ko boni tōku ingoa, haere mai ki tōku YouTube channel. Welcome to the Come Dine On Me podcast, the podcast where I yap while I breastfeed. Today we're featuring a baby who's decided she doesn't want to eat right now, so she's just lying there staring at the cards on the wall, so we're just going to carry on. Eventually she'll probably eat, and if not, then I'll just put her down and she'll play for a while and then she'll eat, so let's just get on with it. Today's episode is the Valentines special. So today we're going to be talking about some unique date ideas for you and your partner or your friends or your family or your kids, whatever, to do for Valentine's Day. We all know the classic dinner and a movie or like going out to this place or that place or whatever. So I wanted to sort of compile a few more interesting ideas, things that are a little bit different, and a lot of these are things you can do at home, things that are low cost, or things that you can probably do with just whatever you already have at home. So especially if this is a bit of a last minute thing for you, or if you're on a budget, then a lot of these ideas will be accessible to you. I know for me, we're definitely going to do a couple of these probably combined, and they're probably going to be pretty low cost. You're so cute. Hi. If not free. So let's get right into the list. Oh, you decided you want some yet? Nearly. Yeah, we're in this phase where her free arm when she's feeding is just whacking me and grabbing stuff and yeah, whatever she can reach. So at the moment she's grabbing my t-shirt, and as long as she can't reach my face, we're good. So the first one on my list is a themed snack movie night. I did talk about this in my bingo card video because it's like a lot of these are on my bingo card for 2026 date bingo. So if you're interested in more date ideas and things that we're planning on doing this year, go and check that video out. Just have to try and keep this from exposing her face. But yeah, I've seen on Pinterest lots of people doing particularly Scooby-Doo, where they watch Scooby-Doo and they make like a little lunch tray with like a big thick sub sandwich and like a milkshake and Scooby snacks and things like that. I was thinking we could do a Studio Ghibli one with ramen and bento boxes and things like that, or Matilda when she makes pancakes. I think Harry Potter would be a good one to do it for too, because there's lots of different Harry Potter type snacks that you can buy, but also things you can make, like you can make butterbeer, and like they have grand feasts, so you could just have a grand feast. Lord of the Rings would be a great one. I've suddenly forgotten all movies that exist, so we're going to go with those ones. But yeah, I'm sure you could probably look it up and see if there were other ideas out there, but I'd love to do that. But I think that would be a really fun date idea, and it would, sort of amplify a standard movie night and make it a bit more fun, a bit more interesting, a bit more themed. So yeah, that's a great day idea. The next one is fondue night, and this is one that I really want to do for our Valentine's Day. So you could do this with an actual fondue pot. Okay, so it turns out this episode of Come Dine On Me is going to be me yapping while I pump instead, so excuse the vibrational sounds. It is the Waiata Orte Mama. And my baby is currently playing on the bed behind me, behind you guys, so you may hear her making some noises as well. But it's alright. Fondue night. So I definitely want to do this one for our Valentine's Day date. I'm thinking of combining it with one of the other ones that will come up further down the list. But yeah, you can do fondue with oil and like use it to fry like meat, etc. Or you can do cheese and dip like bread and meat and veggies and things like that in it. Or you can do chocolate, and chocolate is personally my favourite. I mean, I would love to do cheese or oil one day, but I think you need like probably a real fondue pot for that. I think you probably could use a crock pot maybe, or even a real pot on a little like portable stove. But they seem like you'd probably have to keep them hot the whole time, whereas chocolate, like I feel like you can heat it and then take it off the heat and just start using it, and then you can remelt it if you need to. So yeah, I really want to do chocolate fondue for our Valentine's Day and like get toothpicks or skewers or even just use a fork and dip like strawberries and other fruits and like biscuits and little like wafers, marshmallows, yeah, anything you can think of really that would go with chocolate, which is most things. So yeah, I think we're going to do that for our Valentine's, and we'll probably just use a pot. You could use like a microwavable bowl even. You know, it doesn't have to be super fancy. You can always set it up, like set up everything else to be a bit more fancy, and then just use what you've got for the actual cooking part of it. But yeah, I love me some chocolate. So I really would love to just, you know, sit with my partner and dip our favourite things in chocolate and eat together and like watch a movie or something. And yeah, we're going to do it combined with one of the other ideas. Oh, it's actually the next one on the list, which is to build a fort. You could do a blanket fort inside, or you could go out into the forest or the bush or something and build one with like sticks and rope and all that kind of stuff. Do you like my Love Heart Valentine's shorts? They're just pajama shorts, but I'm definitely going to wear those on Valentine's Day. In fact, this might be my Valentine's fit. We'll see. Because we want to be comfy and also breastfeeding accessible, but, you know, why not go on theme? Plus, we're definitely doing an at-home day. I'm not going out on Valentine's Day. Are you crazy? No, thank you. We never do Valentine's Day dates on Valentine's if we're actually planning on leaving the house, because it's a nightmare. No, thank you. I'm not trying to get a table at a restaurant or, you know, go on a movie date. The whole theatre is packed out with couples doing God knows what. So, like, yeah, most of them are probably just watching the movie and maybe holding hands or having their arms around each other, but there's definitely some people who are doing things they're not supposed to be doing, and we don't want to be involved with any of that. Right. So yeah, with your fort building, you could just go inside a big bush and like with a bit of a gap in it and deck it out, or under a tree. You could go somewhere that has a tree fort and maybe just like deck that out so it's a bit more cozy and comfortable for a date with like fairy lights and picnic blanket and all that kind of stuff. You could like build a fort from scratch with sticks and like use vines and leaves and stuff to tie things together and decorate. We are definitely going to do a blanket fort at home. With like, I'm planning, because I love making forts. Forts are one of my favourite things to do. As an adult with a small house, we don't get to do them that often, but I'm looking forward to when my baby's like bigger, because that's definitely something I'm going to do with her a lot more often. I have worked with kids for years, and one of the things I used to do was work at a holiday program and after school program, and literally every single day we would build forts. It was so fun. Like, I've built some epic forts. Like, I remember one time I built a 3-room fort with like fairy lights and like a games room, and yeah, just so much epicness going on. So yeah, I'm a fort girl. And I definitely want to do one for Valentine's. So I'm thinking, I've got like a ring light and a tripod, so I'm thinking I'll use those as like the front pillars to hold up the like sheet or whatever we put over the top, and then probably like drape it over the back of our recliner chairs, and then like sit on the floor underneath, and then maybe like I'll probably have to move my coffee table out of the way so we've got a bit more space, and then maybe like even put the sheets over the top of the TV so we can still like see the TV from underneath and it's not like getting in the way. We'll see. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm definitely pumped about doing the building of the fort part. I think that's going to be awesome. And then yeah, doing the fondue night inside the fort. We'll probably eat our dinner in there too. Again, we might even combine another couple of these in there at some point. I don't know. Like, one that's not on here, but it should be, is having a candlelit dinner. I don't know if we do candlelit inside the fort. That seems a little bit like asking for trouble, but you know, we could put fairy lights inside the fort and have our dinner like that with the low lighting. I don't know, it's all about mood lighting, you know. But yeah, that's another one, is to do a candlelit dinner. You could literally just do your dinner at home like you normally would, and then instead of just sitting at the table together to eat it normally, you could put some candles out. Pretty easy, pretty simple. And then just like, again, mood lighting. It really sets the tone of the night. The next one is to build a blanket nest, which is similar to a fort, but it's more based on the floor part of the situation rather than the roof part. So the fort is basically all about like the coverage. whereas the blanket nest is all about what's like underneath you. If you want like a proper tutorial, I would just look it up on like Pinterest or something, because there are plenty of videos of people making them. But essentially, it's like building a nest. So, you know, you want a bit of a comfy bottom. We've got like a nice thick play mat, so we'll probably just put it straight on there. And then like use pillows to line the outside, and then just pile blankets on top basically until you've got like a really cozy comfy space. And then you just like hop in it and cuddle together, watch some movies or play some video games or whatever else you want to do. You could do your hobbies in there. You could read, you could do crafts, you could colour in, whatever you like. You could combine it with some of these other date ideas. But it's just like a really cute, cozy, comfy place to hang out together. Me and my partner have done this before and we want to do it again. Maybe this year. It would be fun to do it this year while my baby is not walking. Like, crawling would probably be fine, but walking would probably be out of the question because, yeah, once they can walk, they really don't want to sit still anymore. But it would be fun to do while she's still little and, like, isn't moving too much because, you know, it'd just be a nice, comfy place for us to all hang out together as a family. And I've got, like, a big pregnancy pillow and my partner has a body pillow, so that's kind of already, like, one whole side of the nest, like, good to go, and then we just have to use pillows and cushions for the rest, and I have so many pillows and cushions, so we'd be fine. She's teething, so she's like putting everything in her mouth, and I guess sometimes when things won't go in her mouth the right way, she gets a little bit annoyed. Right, the next one is to have like a s'mores night or like a fire pit night in general. I like s'mores personally, so that's probably what I would choose to do. But, you know, if you're more of a savoury person, you could do baked potatoes, or you could do like hot dogs, sausages on a stick. Basically just cooking things over the fire. If you've got like one of those grill sort of ones where you can actually use it as like a little barbecue almost, then you could do whatever you want on there, really. You can put pans and pots on there. You can actually like use it as a barbecue grill. But personally, I like to keep it simple and just like put things on a stick and roast them over the fire. And we love doing s'mores and, you know, roasted marshmallows. So that would be my date of choice. And it's on my bingo card for our dates this year. So we're definitely going to do that at some point this year. I'd recommend probably like autumn, maybe spring. So it's not like freezing cold like it is in winter. But it's also like still getting dark earlier because you don't want to be doing that well, I mean, you might, but I don't want to be doing that at 10 o'clock at night, and I don't want to be doing it at 6 o'clock at night but it's still sunny out, you know. I want to do it when you can enjoy the mood lighting of the fire but it's not freezing cold. The next one is to do a car boot or a truck bed picnic. Personally, I love doing this in the daytime and going somewhere with a view and just like putting like a blanket in the back with some pillows, and then having like a little picnic lunch or just getting takeaways and eating it together, sitting in the boot or sitting in the bed of a truck and enjoying the view. Also, a great option, especially for the car boot one, is to put like fairy lights up and, you know, just again, the mood lighting. It's all about the mood lighting. It really makes such a difference to your enjoyment. Anyways, that's pretty much a free date right there. Like, you could just use food you already have and then set up in the back of your car, or if you have a ute, then in the truck bed, then go wherever you want. You can go, like, I like to do it up a hill or in front of like a nice field with flowers or sheep or something. Probably not cows because they can be a bit smelly. That kind of puts off the vibe of the enjoyment. That's more of a closed boot situation if you want to do that in the rain maybe, or just like sitting in the front of your car and looking out of the cows. I'm not ignoring her, by the way, if she's making noises. I'm like, every time she makes noise I look up and see if she needs me, but she's just kind of like trying to get her toys and getting a little frustrated, so okay, that might need attention. What's wrong? The next one is to get like a blow-up paddling pool. And I've seen people do this in different situations. Right, excuse the hand waving in my face. Alrighty. I've seen people do this in a few different types of circumstances. But essentially the idea is to blow up in like an inflatable paddling pool and then put it somewhere where a paddling pool ought not to be and fill it up with blankets, and like sit inside, and you can like have a little picnic in there. You could, have some drinkies if you wanted. You could do some crafts and hobbies. You could watch a movie, whatever you want. So I've seen people do it at the beach and just like put the pool on the sand and like watch the sunset or the sunrise. I've seen people do it like they literally put the paddling pool in their own pool if they have a pool at their house, and like float on top of it, which I think that seems fun, but it also seems dodgy to me. And even dodgier is to do it in a lake. If you're going to do that, I suggest putting oars in it so that you can row yourself back to shore if you need to without having to jump in and swim. Unless that's kind of the idea. If you want to like be able to jump ship and go for a swim, then if you're doing that, I probably wouldn't use blankets, and I definitely wouldn't bring like your laptop or something to watch a movie on. But yeah, up to you how you think maybe this could go for you. I personally would probably do the beach one. I think that sounds fun, and like quite romantic and sweet. So that would be how I would take it. But people have done it in different places and to varying degrees of success. And if you think hard enough about it, then I'm sure you could figure out a way to make it work for you. I think that would be pretty cool. One thing I've done in the past, not as a date, just like for fun with my friends, is to have a picnic in the pool. And we just had like another paddling pool, but we literally just put our whole picnic table and picnic chairs in the pool and just like sat at the table and like played cards and had some drinks and ate some food because it was just like a really stinking hot day. And we wanted to be able to chill outside, but it was literally too hot to just be outside. So we were like, well, I know how we can cool off. Highly recommend a shade umbrella if you're going to do this, or at least like put it under a tree or something so that you have some shade, because you don't want to be sitting in the sun doing that all day, especially like if you're not swimming. You kind of get really comfortable and you can just sit there for ages, so you don't want to be like getting sunburnt, or getting overheated or whatever and not realizing it. Plus, like if you're in direct sunlight, then you're getting the sun from top down, but you're also getting the reflection of the water coming up, so you're going to get really sunburned. But yeah, like that was really fun, and I would definitely recommend that. It was awesome, and I've never seen anybody else do that before. It was just like a random idea we had one day, so yeah, I reckon that would be a pretty cool thing to do. The next one is to do a Lego date. Again, you could combine it with some of these other ideas. You could take your Lego in your paddling pool at the beach, or you could take your Lego into your fort, or you could take your Lego on your car boot picnic, whatever. But essentially, just doing Lego together, whether that be like, I've seen people do it where they get the Lego botanicals and they do like build a flower bouquet together, which is very cute and romantic and on theme. But you could just do whatever Lego kit you have or can afford. You could also do things that aren't like official Lego, like Kmart has like knockoff Lego, which is significantly cheaper, but still decent. I probably wouldn't say it's as good as Lego, just because like I feel like Lego is very high quality, but it's good enough. Well, it's still just as fun, that's for sure. Yeah, you could do your own Lego kit each, like whatever tickles your fancy. You could just build Lego together, kind of parallel play. You could work on one kit together. You could do like free building as well if you have lots of loose Lego pieces. Like we have one of those big Lego brick shaped containers, and it's literally full to the brim of just loose Lego. Because it came with Lego in it, and then we have also like built kits and then disassembled them and just put the pieces in there, which I understand probably means we'll never build those sets again. But we kept all the instructions and stuff. If we really wanted to, we could sort the pieces out and find the bits to do it. And we probably will do that at some point. But honestly, I like free building with Lego, so I was quite happy to just have a heap of pieces that we can use for free building. But yeah, Lego date. Whatever you want to do with that. I've also seen people go to the Lego shop and like build mini figurines of each other, which I think is so cute, and I really want to do that. And they're not very expensive, so that's like a pretty cheap date, definitely a low cost date. If you have a Lego store near you, we have one at Westfield Riccarton, which is one of the malls. It's the mall I despise the most, but it has the Lego store. It also has the chocolate shop. So, you know, I could make a date out of that. Just go to the Lego store with Jake, build ourselves mini figurines of each other, and then go to the chocolate shop and get a really nice chocolate drink and like a. They have chocolate cigars. Like, obviously, they're not for smoking, they're just shaped like a cigar. But those are quite delicious. So, yeah, that's tickling my fancy. We might do that this year. And then we could go home and build a Lego kit together or do some free building together. That'd be fun. The next one is to do a picnic in your living room or backyard or in the park. Picnics in general are always fun, but you know, sometimes you don't have a park near you, or it's like the weather's not good, or you can't be bothered carting everything down. Like, you know, you've got to make all the food or buy all the food and then, you know, set up, find a nice spot somewhere where, like, you know, you have a little bit of privacy. Like, you don't necessarily need heaps of privacy, but like you want to at least be able to chat together and not have other people being able to overhear you. And sometimes that's just not accessible to everybody. So picnic in the park is always great and beautiful. But if that's not really something that's going to work for you, then you could just do it in your own backyard. I've done backyard picnics before, and I think they're great. And then if the weather is no good, then you could always do a living room picnic, or you can do a picnic on your bed as well. But essentially, the main point is that you actually set it up like a real picnic. So whether you have a picnic basket and you put all the stuff in the picnic basket, or if you just put a picnic blanket down and set all the food up on little plates or whatever on the rug, but just make it feel like a picnic. It's all about the vibes. It's always all about the vibes. The next one is similar. It's backyard or living room camping. So you could go real camping. That's awesome. That's kind of a lot though. Like, it's a lot of effort. It's, you know, very weather dependent. You need a lot of supplies and you have to know a good spot, and sometimes all the good spots are taken, especially if it's like peak season. Plus, you know, if you've got, like, I've got a baby, I'm probably not going to bring my baby on a proper camping trip just yet. That'll be something we do in the future. It's not something we're going to do this week. But we could do a backyard camping this week. We could do a living room camping this week. So for backyard camping, you probably want to actually have a tent. So that is one thing you will need if you are going to do that. You could also do clothesline camping, which is where you just put like a sheet or a tarp or something over your clothesline to make a tent. So if it's good weather where you are, then that's definitely an option that you could explore. But for me, I would want like a real tent. We have a tent already, so if you already own a tent, this is a free date for you. If you don't own a tent, obviously it's not, but you could potentially borrow one from a friend or a family member, you know, ask around. They do have them reasonably cheap at like some local department stores, or sometimes the second-hand shops, or like pawn shops will have them for a decent price, but that would not be a free date if that was the case. But if you do have a tent, free date right here. But yeah, we could do backyard camping right now if we wanted to. We do have a stony driveway and we don't have any grass at our house. I live on the same property as my parents and they have a lawn, so we could do it on their lawn if they let us. Which they probably would if I asked them, but anywho. Backyard camping is a fantastic way to do camping without the full force commitment of being out in the middle of nowhere and like having to cart all your supplies around and stuff, because like if you need anything you can just go in the house. Like, it's always an option. You can even cook your dinner inside and then just bring it out to the tent, or bring it outside to eat and then like just sleep in the tent, you know, it's up to you. This is a really fun thing to do if you have kids, especially if they're a little bit older. It's also a really fun birthday party idea if you have kids. You know, have like a camping sleepover in the backyard. I would have loved to do that when I was a kid. That would have been so fun. I slept in a tent in someone's backyard probably like 3 times in my life. Once I think was a birthday party or something like that, maybe a sleepover. Once was when my parents had a party here and we had a bunch of people staying over, so we had a tent in the yard for. It was supposed to be for if people needed to crash, like because they've drunk too much. It ended up being that the kids all slept out there, and then anybody else who needed to crash slept inside somewhere because we were all sleeping out there. So all our beds were empty, and then the couches were there, and then we had like mattresses on the floor and stuff too. And then as a teenager, my friend set up a tent in her front yard and we slept in there for the night, and that was so fun. So yeah, if you've got like sort of probably 10 and up age kids or even teenagers, really great birthday party or sleepover idea. So much fun. And yeah, living room camping, you don't even have to set up the tent if you don't want to. If you have a big living room, then you totally could. But if not, you could just build a fort and sleep in the fort all night. So much fun. I've also seen people do it on a trampoline. If you have like one of those big trampolines with the net around the edge, then you can cover the top part with like sheets and stuff and put fairy lights inside. I would cover the walls too, with more blankets and sheets. And then like cover the bottom with sheets, with blankets, so you've got like a warm layer underneath. Yeah, again, you wouldn't want to do that on a cold night. You want to do that in the summer. So that could be fun for a date, but it would also be a fun like birthday party or sleepover idea for kids or teenagers. So yeah, highly recommend fun sleeping arrangements outdoors. Okay, I'm now Sans baby because she decided she was finished eating and she needed to sleep, but she wouldn't sleep for me. So she's gone to her dad to see if he can get her to sleep. Because usually if I can't, he can. So fingers crossed. Right, where were we? Okay, after living room or backyard camping, we have painting, and like this can go in many different ways. So you could actually go to like a paint and sip sort of class together. You could do your own at home paint and sip with like a YouTube tutorial, like a Bob Ross or something like that. That could be really fun actually. And you don't have to do paint and sip as in like drink alcohol. You could do paint and eat. Like you could just paint. You could do paint and mocktails, whatever. You could paint portraits of each other. I've seen people do that as a date, like on TikTok and stuff, and it is, I mean, if you've both got artistic skills, it's a great idea. If neither of you have artistic skills, it's hilarious. If one has lots of artistic skills and the other not much, it's also hilarious. So, you know, as long as you're not going to get too serious about it and then like be offended if their painting isn't that good, it's a good date idea no matter your artistic skills level. Or you could go somewhere with a view and paint what you can see. You could also do the same for like sketching or like pastel drawing or any other art medium really. I like the idea of going somewhere with a view to paint. We've done that before, and that was really fun, honestly. I enjoyed that. But yeah, even just doing it like at home would be fun if you're doing portraits of each other or doing a tutorial. Yeah, painting or drawing or sketching or any other type of art medium, but yeah, specifically painting to me. The next one is to take a class together. So this one's probably not going to be, well, it could be low cost, but it's definitely not going to be free. Unless you can find like a free class. You know, maybe your library might have free classes or something like that. It could be worth looking into. But yeah, take a class together of something that you guys want to try together or that you've both been interested in. So some examples would be like pottery or ceramics, another painting one like paint and sip or something. Cooking would be really cool. Dancing of some sort. You could do like hip hop, you could do actual like ballroom dance of some sort or Latin dance together. I just recently did a collaging workshop in my town. It was a vision board making workshop, but it was at like a collage studio, which was really fun. So, you know, if your city has something similar. I did a vlog of the collage workshop if you want to see that. It's on my channel. It's my most recent posted video. But just look and see what's around you. There could be loads of different things that you could do together. I teach kabahaka, which is, for those who aren't from New Zealand, that is New Zealand native Māori performing arts. So there's some vlogs up on my channel called the Tūhono Kapahaka Festival vlogs. If you're interested in finding out more about Kapahaka, I suggest you watch those. She wouldn't go to sleep, so she's back with me. She's just playing now. I figure if she doesn't want to go to sleep, there's no point trying to force her. I'll just let her play for a bit longer until she's tired enough, and then hopefully she'll just go to sleep herself. But we'll see what happens. I've only got one more idea left anyways, which is be a tourist in your city. So just look around and see what's the tourist attraction type of things in your own city and go do them. So in Christchurch we have the trams, the luge, we have punting on the Avon, which is like you're in one of those boats where you've got somebody like pole pedaling, and you're just like chilling in the boat. They also do kayaking on the Avon, which is what I prefer to do because I like actually being involved in the rowing, but punting sounds fun too. I haven't done that before. I think that would be quite romantic actually. We also have like our Christchurch Museum, there's the cathedral, there's Cathedral Square, there's loads of stuff to see in town, so even just like wandering around your city and like taking photos and visiting in the local buildings or whatever there is around you, give some of that a go. Or yeah, just like wandering around your city and taking photos in the places that you see the tourists taking photos in. Our city was virtually destroyed by earthquakes about 15 years ago now, something like that, and it's been rebuilt since then. So now there used to be a lot of old heritage buildings. Now there's not very many of those left, but there's lots of cool new things. So we've got there's a program called Gap Filler, which is like it sounds, the gaps that were left by the building have been filled with like cool things instead. So there is it's called the Dance-O-Mat, which is like a washing machine where you put like a coin in, and then there's speakers and a big dance floor, and you can plug your phone in and choose any music you want for a certain amount of time or a certain amount of songs, and you can like play them on these big loud speakers and have like a little dance party in the middle of the city. That would be so much fun to do as a date, especially like late at night, I feel would be really fun. Or with friends. I've taken like a group of kids there on a holiday program because there's like this giant playground in the middle of town. So we were taking them there, but the Dance-O-Mat's not that far, so we ended up walking there, and like that was one of the most fun parts of the trip, was doing the Dance-O-Mat. It was awesome. We also have like the botanical gardens would be a really lovely place to explore. That playground is lots of fun, and it's big enough that adults can play on it too, so it's kind of more of in the daytime it's the kids playground, and then at night the adults come and play because it's not far from the clubs, so a lot of the time there's like drunk adults playing on the playground, but it's really fun, and that's pretty awesome, I think. What other touristy things on there in our city? There's like a street art thing in Christchurch. Like there's just dozens of big street art murals all over the place, and really beautiful. So it'd be cool to like go around and take photos of all of those. And there's like one big walking trail that like it's a bunch of smaller walking trails that all end up sort of joining together in a big loop. So doing some of that would be cool. But yeah, whatever is your city's thing, go and do that for the day. Pretend that you're a tourist, take your cameras, take lots of photos, and just go out and do all the fun things in your city that you might not have even done before. You might have done when you were a kid and haven't done since. Just pretend to be a tourist in your own city. I'd recommend doing public transport if you're doing that. Like you could do a bus or a lime scooter or a train or the tram or whatever. It's a really fun idea, I think. I would love to do that because I love living in Christchurch. I think it's a fantastic place to live, and I would love to actually get to enjoy the things that we have. Like I've never been on the luge, I've never done punting on the Avon, and I haven't been on the tram since I was young. So I think it would be really cool to do all those things, in one day would be amazing. That'd be a really cool way to spend a day. But even just in general. Okay, that's everything on my list. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast and you got an idea for what you want to do for your Valentine's Day.
or any future dates, or even like a birthday party or a fun like event with friends, or even just your next solo date. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share the video, and turn on your notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ka kite te whānau.